Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another music interview. My name is Aurora, of course, and I'm here with a special guest. Not only do I know him from Berkeley, but he does private lessons one on one, and he shows us his amazing guitar skills on social media. I would like to give up to our special guest, Michael. Woo!
Like for having me on, and yeah, this is gonna be fun.
It is going to be fun. Well, introduce yourself. Tell me a
Yeah.
little about yourself.
Um, yeah. So my name is Michael Ryan. I currently live in Kyle, Texas, and I'm a teacher. Let me see. I've been playing maybe since the age of 10, and I have been a full-time touring artist since the age of 17. And yeah, I'm really, really pumped to be putting out my first solo track.
Amazing. Um, since you said like the age of 10, like so you've been a fan of music for a very long time.
Yeah, I it comes from my dad and from my sister. I grew up with
Mm.
with my dad's taste, so and he was born in '58, so he pretty much grew up through all of the really cool eras, right?
Hmm.
And I think he was about don't quote me, but I think he was about 12 when the Beatles came out. So he
Oh,
really really grew up with all of like the right kind of thing, right? So
yeah, like all the legends. And
yeah.
I can relate too because like literally since like out the womb or like around like age 5 or like 6, I could just remember like my dad having like these CDs and he would play like Brandy, Destiny's Child and all that stuff. I was born in
Nice.
2001. So
Nice.
um but he's just playing like those R&B like classics. It was just like a fun time.
Mhm. Yeah.
So well anyways, like what is for one, what is your favorite genre? Right?
Oh yeah. Well, so that's actually a pretty loaded question there.
Yeah, right.
'Cause- yeah,
Hate to put you on the spot, but
yeah. Well, the first genre that kind of got me going was definitely rock music. Mainly
Mm,
coming from my dad's taste, right? First, it was pretty much everything from the Beatles to Zeppelin, Aerosmith, the Rolling Stones, right? And but the band that kind of got me into music was probably Guns N' Roses way way back. Um,
mm,
so that is always going to have pretty much like the special place in our hearts there, right? So that one is that like for me. Um, Let me see, but throughout my journey, it's been quite the process actually to then um, uh, kind of wrap around to my single coming out, right? That's where
yeah.
and it's quite like the funny story because I came from the rock background. Uh, when I started touring for rock music, that was around the time when I got into Berkeley for the first time, right? Uh,
Hmm.
and I got in when I was 17. Started touring when I was 17, and but the Berkeley world is pretty much heavily based from the jazz realm, like of everything, right? So that's kind of where I got to or to dive deep into the jazz things, right? So from the jazz world, I'd say my
Yeah.
favorite is Joe Pass, John Coltrane, Ella Fitzgerald are probably my top three there. Um, and so then, but at the same time, while I was going through Berkeley, I was touring for country music now too. And so,
Mm,
and I guess it just kind of came from the, how can I say it, the excessive hunger for just gaining more knowledge, more taste, right?
hmm.
And so I just kind of wanted to keep growing my palette there. And so, but it wasn't until I hit country was when it really clicked for me. And I kind of had one of those light switch moments there of just, oh, I really love all kinds like of music, but when it comes to country, the technical part of it was really kind of what made me feel super comfortable now, and it that kind of led to this first single, and it kind of
Yeah.
uh, I finally got to find what my sound was all of these different genres, but putting it in the technical box of
Hmm.
country type of things there. So, yeah.
Yeah, because like, so you've been like all over the world with like genres and everything.
Yeah.
So, and I can hear it from your first track, which, by the way, how excited for you for your first
Oh,
release
nice.
ever? Because I can
Yeah.
hear, like, as you're talking, I can hear like a little bit of country. I can hear a little bit of like jazz and then like rock. And I was like playing it earlier, and it's like a song that like boosts your energy like early in the morning. So
Yeah. Yeah.
how excited are you?
Uh, really, really pumped for it. Of course, with it being my first one, there's going to be a bunch of nerves there too, right? But but
Hmm.
I can pretty much proudly say that this is the first song that's I finally found what my sound was and kind of what my path
Hmm.
was there. Which was kind of challenging because coming from all of those, coming from a wide background, right? It was really really tough just to kind of see. Okay, I felt like at first if I had to pick one route, right? But I
Hmm.
was like, man, now like it like each and every time that I tried that out, it never felt I didn't feel fully comfortable yet. So I was like, man, this is good, but I kind of want to add this in there still. But is that fine to do, right? Because I just
Hmm.
don't know if people would kind of like that kind of thing, right? But yeah, I just kind of try to make music on what I would personally kind of want to hear, anyways, right?
Hmm.
And I think that kind of goes like for almost all types of artists, where they just kind of aim like for that first, and it's pretty much like a byproduct of if all people kind of want to hear like your thing anyways, right? And
Hmm.
because of course I do know going into this kind of route that it's not going to be each and every person's taste, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, and but all in all, I'm pretty pumped for it. It's and I don't think that I've gave out what the title is yet or the date yet. So it's going to be called Warp Theory, and it's coming out March 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing. Um, I just want to say I love the name. Quick little tad bit, like, what made you decide to choose Warp Theory?
Oh yeah.
Like, what made you to go with that
Yeah.
title? And I hope I'm saying it
Yeah.
right too.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. I that's pretty much the question that I have got really, really constantly from the people that
Yeah.
have heard it first, right? So pretty much, I'm a really big nerd when it comes to terms that involve space, right? So,
Hmm.
and I think warp theory was a theory. I think it was expanded on from Einstein, and I think he kind of said that if we were to kind of time travel, that we would have to go through these things called wormholes, right? And
Hmm.
so, and I think part of that theory is this term called warp drive, where the ship goes in and it pretty much goes like at the kind of like at the speed of light type of deal, right? And
Yeah.
but pretty much the thought process was actually pretty fun. Um, Coming from Berkeley, I got a huge appreciation for the theory side like of music when it comes to trying to really gain all of that type like of knowledge there too, right? And
Hmm.
so pretty much it's called warp theory because I was trying to um, warp into different genres inside of that one tune there. But I
Yeah.
use key changes to kind of signify each and every warp or change, right? And
Hmm.
so that was pretty much the whole concept there. But at the same time, I didn't want it to be a tune where you could really tell where the changes were, like a super crazy shift,
Hmm.
right? So it was like, man,
Hmm.
it's um, I had the hardest time like at first trying to see, okay, I'm gonna have to not do it in such a I'm sorry, in such a huge change, but just kind of do it in a
Hmm.
very subtle way, right? And so that's where I kind of used each of the key changes in the song, and I used like a bunch of different modes there too for all of the like the theory nerds there too that really want to
Yeah.
geek, right? And I do have. I'm going to be putting up the full score for the piece for the nerds that really want to dive in.
Yeah. And
So
really jam
yeah,
out too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so yeah, so pretty much that was the whole concept there, and I think that I did pretty well in it. It's not each and every genre yet, and I guess also to kind of uh, put it out there too. I'm not gonna do each and every genre per each and every single too, right? But I'm just gonna try to
Mhm.
aim just to kind of do the ones that I'm kind of feeling at that kind of moment.
Mhm.
And so for this first one, it's kind of based around country mainly, and I put in some jazz stuff in there, rock, and a hint of classical music. So yeah.
Mhm. Because again, like you could just hear it throughout the track. Like also you explaining that you hear like the journeys throughout the song.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing is like the end because I love a good like little like build and
Oh,
then
nice.
it
Yeah.
just like ends off on like a good note. Like I
Yeah.
I love builds. I love when everything like changes to a different key every time, but that like totally makes sense. Um Now with saying like because I get what you mean when not this is not everybody's like taste, right? It's for people who like, search for this or anything like that, or who love to just hear the like instrumental like sounds.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, but I think what you said, like at the end of the day, it's your sound, your mind, and you know what to do with it. And that's all you can do. Because like if you get
Yeah.
too much in your head,
Oh yeah.
right? And you way focus on every part of you delays that process.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just gotta be like, you know what? This is what I like. If everybody doesn't like it, that's okay. It's just for me and the music nerds or heads are gonna love it.
Yeah, yeah, and that was also something that I actually wasn't really thinking too much on what other people were kind of gonna think, because I was trying to be as honest as I possibly could, right? And I
Hmm.
don't think that I would want it any other way when it comes to trying to kind of fake it to put out things, right? Or just trying to just cater like to anything really, right? So yeah, so I guess you could pretty much say that I was just trying to be super honest with it, and just I would just want to make what I would want to hear driving in the car, right? Just
Right.
so yeah. Hmm.
Exactly. Like you're gonna be the only one that's gonna be blasting it like in your car and your speakers in your home and
Hmm.
everything. And it's gonna bring a smile to your face.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Um, a little segue here. Um, since again, you don't often hear songs like this.
Hmm.
What inspired you to create this track?
Um. Hmm. Well, I guess it kind of goes back to the title part of it too, right? But
Yeah.
I think the other part of it too is that we've kind of been some of us have been a little starved from the guitar centric type of sound.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was pretty cool just to kind of dive into that kind of route there too. But
Mm-hmm.
pretty much all of my life, I I didn't really think about the case of having a singer or not. It just
Yeah.
kind of came to me on that type of sound and that type of route, right? So that wasn't really in my mind at like any point there, but I guess it just comes back to just wanting to just try to use each and every genre, just trying to use these really crazy musical theory tricks just to kind of make it happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think that um, when it comes to the theory portion, it kind of gets a bad rap like at times, but I think people should kind of view it as a very positive way to kind of learn how to write more, and just it
Yeah.
gives you more color, more tools to kind of craft what sound that you're trying like to make, right? And so that's kind of what I really use, and I guess it's all thanks to Berkeley mainly there, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah.
They teach you like Berkeley teach you valuable lessons, but you're so there's some genres that are like not seen like to the light of day. So you taking this and thinking like, should I add like a person into it? Should I not? Um, it's really like thought, like you put some like thought into it.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's amazing. And you just, and you sticking your ground, be like, you know what? This is like something I want to do. So we're just gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna make the sheet, I'm gonna make the chords, and then just
Yeah.
go off from like there.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
You know? So that's pretty cool. So if you can, while making the song, can you walk us through the process like in the studio or like at your like home studio or whatever, like writing and all that jazz? Just give me your process.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So the process was pretty long. I think I first made the riff that's at the top of the track
Hmm.
back in 2024. And
Hmm.
I only had that part for the longest time. And I think that I had sent it to a couple people
Yeah.
that said that I should really try to turn it into like a full piece and the whole deal, right? And yeah, so I came up with the riff first in 24, and I finished it last year in the summer of 25. So I've
Mm-hmm.
had it for the full thing for maybe like a year, but its roots began at the start of 2024. And so, but we went in to track it the summer of 25. We tracked it all in a single day. We did drums first, bass, and then all of the rhythm parts, and for the lead parts
Hmm.
there too. Um, and I went to go track it over at this really, really nice place in Corpus Christi, Texas,
Hmm.
with Mason Shirley. He's the producer slash engineer for Sound Machine Studios. And
Hmm.
so we went there to track it summer of 25. And yeah, and I kind of chose there for the purpose to kind of work like with Mason. Um,
Hmm.
because he tracked uh, he's pretty much a one of those guys that's a jack of all trades, and so that was the
Hmm.
purpose as to why that I really wanted to work with him there. But
Hmm.
what the funny thing is though is that so I'm one of those people that doesn't like to depend like on other people.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I really like this track is fully you could call it like one of my kids, right? And and so I pretty much made all of the parts from top to the bottom there. First from the drums and bass and the chords and the leads and the whole deal, right? But the part when it comes to writing, the part that I was always self-conscious of is having to learn how to take on the producer part of things. And
Mm.
so, which is always that challenging part that I see artists having to kind of deal with when it comes to, oh, is the chorus too long? Is the solo crap? Is it good? Right?
Yeah.
Are the parts um, flowing really really well? Right? So
Hmm.
that's kind of what I was really really trying to polish up since from 24 till the summer like of 25 when I went to go track it. Right? So that was pretty
Hmm.
much the main reason why that I wanted to go in was because I really felt that if I kind of wanted someone to be bold with me and to really have that honest, really good discipline when it comes to the process like of writing music, right? So, but
Hmm.
what the crazy part is though is when I sent Mason the track, he said, "Well, dude, I don't think you should really hire me anymore for this because I kind of feel like the parts are fully polished up, and I don't think that I can really add anything else to it." And so, but by me hearing that, that really gave me the boost there to kind of
Hmm.
um, go forward with the project because I was that was pretty much what took the longest when it came to trying to choose what route that I wanted to go in for this
Hmm.
project. And so
Yeah.
that was pretty much like the final puzzle piece that I really needed to fully push it out. And so, yeah, but um, I got a session player for the drums by the name of Chris Reedus, and I got my
Hmm.
friend Edson on bass. He was pretty much the
Hmm.
only person that I kind of bounced the ideas back and forth with. You could say that
Hmm.
he was pretty much like my second pair of ears. And
Yeah.
he's been with me since the very, very start. Like it's crazy since I was 19 or so. So, and
Oh.
he's pretty much gone through all of those genres with me. We were trying to
Hmm.
do like a pop group like at first, and rock, jazz, prog, like the whole deal, right? But so you could say that I put him through the absolute ringer there, right? And
Yeah.
so and so yeah, but so he wrote part of the bass parts too, which really helped me out there too. And yeah, but I think after we went into track it, we were all fully satisfied with it. So yeah.
That's cool. You had like a full team on you that one has been with you since day one, and then also like learning the process of like producing and all that stuff.
Hmm.
I know sometimes with producers, they have like a real good ear and real talent
Oh yeah.
to like hearing the final product and sound. And you talking about like what is this like your first time producing or like fully producing a song yourself? Like, am
Um,
I understanding right?
I
Right?
I probably wouldn't say that it's the first time.
Yeah.
I think I've always been that type of person that Um, not a control freak, but I guess just
Mm,
someone that really wants to try to learn and grow from each of the processes when it comes to the playing part, when it comes to the writing part, when it comes to the
mm,
producing part, when it comes to this or that, right? And
mm-hmm.
so it wasn't really like a thought ever to kind of push it to someone else's job there, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to take on each and every role just for the purpose, just to kind of grow like as an artist, right? And
Yeah.
so yeah, so I did kind of self-produce all of my other stuff that I did, but this was the first time that I finally felt that if it was kind of ready and if uh, my craft for it kind of grew more, and I guess was finally
Mm,
polished. And so yeah, but yeah, I've also done some work for some other artists too.
yeah.
But yeah, but I'm just really pumped for my first single because it's the first time where it's fully going to be my type of sound. So I'm really pumped for it.
Because you're like you touch base in every single thing in your song. Again, to writing, to producing, to making sure, you're sending the song to people, making sure it's like correct and right. Like you had
Yeah.
your like hand in every bit. And so that's what makes sense of like this is your child. This is your baby. You know, you're giving it out to the world, and whatnot, and hearing like the feedback from like others that isn't close with you or anything like that. They're first time listeners, so that's pretty amazing. If you have to like, I guess, like put it in words or have like your own let's see, like opinion or tell me about it, how what was the one thing like you learned throughout making this track, or like what's the one thing you learned like through producing and having your hand in everything throughout this process,
Um,
if you could just give me one.
hmm, that's a really good question there.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. Man, um, I guess it kind of goes back to the classic saying of just how a song is never going to be finished to you, right?
Hmm.
And and I think there's this really nice quote that I heard. I think it was from Keith Urban. He was on a channel, a pretty famous music
Hmm.
channel from Rick Beato, and I think he
Hmm.
was talking about like the writing process, like for him. And I think he had said that us, like as artists, will always hear the song for what it isn't, but you guys, like as fans, will hear it as its fully finished product, right? So,
Yeah.
and it's just because I don't think that a song is ever going to be fully done being written, right? Because there's always things
Hmm.
to add, right? But yeah. So I guess if I would have to say the one thing that I kind of learned from the process from this first track, it's probably um, just to kind of go with your gut when you write, be super honest, and try to do it all yourself because I promise you it is going to be super rewarding
Rewarding.
as an artist, and plus you get fully all of the uh, what do you call it? Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Well,
You're good.
sorry. So it's just all in all that um, for the growing part of it, right? And
Hmm.
just to keep on learning from it too, right? Because um,
Hmm.
my second single, actually, which I'm really pumped forward to, is going to be like pretty much like a total shift from this first track. And I think
Mhm.
that one I did it mainly based around classical music and rock and country. So and it's even faster than this first one too. So I really, really pushed it too. So yeah,
Ooh, you're giving like all of us like the boost of energy that we need right now.
yeah,
I swear it's so in tune with like because we're already like in spring and summer and everybody wants to be
oh
blasting
yeah,
like different type of genres of music. I just like thought of this like what made what made you decide to release this like song in like spring? Was it for any reason or were you just like, you know what? I think it's just time to release it. It's time to drop it. Why not? You know?
yeah. Um, I don't think that there was any right time like to kind of put it out. I think
Mm,
it was just kind of more so having like to create like the timeline like for all of my other plans going on.
hmm hmm
There is a music video that's going to be dropping too. I'm it's going to be dropping 2 months after the single drops. So I was mainly having to kind of work around all of the timeline based around that shoot, and and
Hmm.
I'm currently tracking my second single, so I'm trying to juggle those three things there. So that was pretty much the only kind of thing there that kind of brought it out here in March.
Amazing. Oh my God. We'll get to it at like the very end and I'm so excited. So you say you're releasing like a music video for Warp Theory?
Mhm. Yeah.
Ah, that's gotta be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh my God.
we went to go shoot it. When did we go? I think we went in February. I think.
Hmm.
Oh no, sorry. We went in January. Yeah, and we actually filmed it at the studio where I tracked it at. So it we shot it over at Sound Machine Studios, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I felt that if the video was kind of needed because it's one of those songs where it's cool to kind of put it on, right? But it's this whole other thing to kind of see what is actually going on too,
Hmm.
right? So that's kind of why that I wanted to do it too. And plus, who also doesn't love like a really fast-paced track that's going to be full of shredding and the whole deal, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like always nice to have like a visual because I'm like a firm believer, well, sometimes, but of like, okay, a track is if you're not feeling the track, then you gotta wait for, the music video. And then once
Yeah.
you wait for the music video, it's like, okay, that makes the track a little bit more better. And then that gives people like something like to hook on to.
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
that sounds super like exciting. And it's just purely like the music video is just you being filmed like in the studio,
Yeah.
right?
So it's me with my band. We filmed it as a trio, just the
Mhm.
drums, the guitar, and the bass. And so we did it in the big room there. And yeah,
Mhm.
so it's more of a simple type of shoot, but
Yeah.
I kind of wanted it to be so that way that people can really try to kind of lock in. Going back to all of us nerds, right, for the playing part of it,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, and to kind of give more of the focus to the theory parts that I wanted, like just throw in there, just so that way to see if certain nerds can actually try to kind of catch it, right?
Hmm. That's so perfect. And usually with like simple videos or with, again, like filming in the studio, it makes people feel like that they're there.
Oh yeah,
They're feeling the
true.
music with you.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Well, again, throughout, making this track, and you were just telling us like a little bit of like what you listen to, like Guns N' Roses, and then your father introducing you to Aerosmith and
Hmm.
the Beatles and all that stuff. What is your what's your music inspos in general?
Yeah.
Or it could be like, what's your music inspos for this like track when you made it? Be
Nice.
either or.
Um, Let me see. If I had to give my current list of what I currently hear, I guess, well, I could go down the line of each and every genre, right? But
Hmm.
I don't want to take up 20 hours there, but
We could be here all day, you
right.
know?
I'd say my top ones are Guns N' Roses, Big Wreck, the 1975, Joe
Mm,
Pass, Ella Fitzgerald,
mm,
and who else? Who else? Charlie Puth. Um,
good
hmm,
one.
maybe let me see. Can I think of one more? Uh, maybe maybe the Stones. I think they're probably the one band that I can always pop on like at any time of the day. So probably the Rolling Stones there too. But yeah, so it's pretty much like a pretty wide palette there. But
Mm,
um, and at, really quickly, the band Big Wreck, they kind of shifted things for me too. They're based in Canada, but
mm,
they all met when they all were at Berkeley actually, and I think they're crazy underrated because they're crazy
mm,
good. It's insane. And the guitarist Ian Thornley, he's probably one of my favorite players actually. He I saw him in Austin with Big Wreck a couple years ago, I think in 22, and I
mm.
took my fiance to the gig, and she hadn't really heard him much, but I had told her, okay, wait, if you go, I promise you, this is going to be the best show that you will ever see, and I'm not even kidding. I am not even kidding. And so we went front row. There was only a crowd of maybe 60 people there.
Hmm.
And I got to chat with them afterwards too. And oh man, the experience was just like if I was on a totally different planet. My fiance said that the show was the best ever. It was just crazy. But for the purpose of just uh, going back to the theory portion, they really know how
Hmm.
how how to use all of those cool tricks in there just to kind of throw in. Oh, okay, I want to play over like this rock tune, but I want to use jazz lines, or I uh, really want to use like this motif that's from like a famous tune, like from Beethoven, or just trying to kind of take
Mm,
tools from like many things, right? And yeah,
mm.
and I think sonically too, the show was just perfect too. So yeah, I'd say Big Wreck, the 1975, and Guns N' Roses are probably my top three. Yeah.
That is amazing. So I've never heard of like Big Wreck before. And so now you're gonna make me like search up their music later on and I'm
Oh,
like gonna
nice.
like
Yeah.
take notes now. So like
Nice.
how do you spell it? Like so it's
Uh,
big
yeah.
and then
Wreck with
wreck
the
like car wreck?
yeah. So it's just WRECK.
See. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's sick. Okay, I'm gonna be blasting them on Apple Music pretty soon or
Nice.
go on
Yeah.
like YouTube to do my research. That's so cool. And I love how you prove your fiance like
Oh yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Cause I'm the same way with my dad. It's like you're gonna love it. Like you're gonna we're gonna party and then if you don't, I'll treat you to food after.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
To sweeten up
Nice.
the deal. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that your fiance loved the experience. Um, let's see. Like with those like three in mind, you said Big Wreck
Hmm.
and because you said you're three, so Big Wreck
Yep.
was it Guns N' Roses,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And then what was the last one?
The 1975.
1975. Okay, so how would you say like they influence your sound a bit? Like if you could just name one thing of like how they influence your sound or a couple things.
Hmm. I think when it comes to Guns N' Roses, the influence there was probably from the attitude point of view, um,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm.
then from Big Wreck for sure from the musical theory point of view, and from the 75, maybe from the sonic point of view, because they're
Mm-hmm.
really good at crafting all of their tones and their sound as a whole too.
Mm-hmm.
And they put out this live album. I forgot what it was called, but it I thought that it was like an actual album, and I couldn't even
Mm.
tell sonically that they tracked it live because it was just so sonically perfect.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I'd say those are the main three ways that they kind of influence this first track, and also just all of my other tracks too.
that's cool. I really like that. Um, wow, okay. So after just like listing all those influences and telling like how you learn from them, um, what do you hope that listeners feel or take away when they hear this song for the first time? What do you hope for?
I would hope that they would kind of see the honesty in it and just me trying to just do me, and just because I've put in so much time and so much work from all
Mhm,
of this for my craft, right? And it's just
mhm,
it has been quite the quite the journey for me, and yeah. So I would hope also too just that that people uh, won't be afraid to kind of dive into many different genres and
mhm,
just to want to gain more knowledge, right? And just try to gain more of a, I guess you can say more of an appreciation for each and every genre too, and to kind
mhm,
of give them their own time to kind of shine, right? And yeah, but and I'm also not trying to be like an advocate for just for anything really, but just I can only be as honest as I can when it comes to putting out my own music, right? And
mhm.
I don't think that I would want to have it any other way when it comes to like we could even go into all of the AI stuff even, right? Where it just gets crazy,
Yes.
right? But so I can for sure say that there's no AI in this track. So it is
Hmm.
fully self-made from top to the bottom, the entire run around there. And so yeah, and yeah, and I guess I would also want to say too that I would want to encourage artists to try to take on each and every role and just to
Hmm.
try to be less dependent when it comes to writing music too, because I think that we can all learn from it and just really grow from trying to take on each and every role, from the player to the writer to the producer to the engineer, on and on and on, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, so that's what I would want to say there too. And I don't know if I already said it too, but I think theory when it comes to music gets a tiny bit of a
Hmm.
bad rap there when it comes to, oh man, this is gonna be tough. This is boring, this is tough, right? But
Hmm.
I think that it that's what really made it click for this project actually, because I think that it that I and I guess I kind of don't feel satisfied yet when it comes to the amount of knowledge that I have still yet, but I want to continuously get better and grow and learn, right? But I think
Hmm.
when I took the time to really learn how to craft that through tricks when it came to just, oh, okay, why does this chord work? Why can't I play this? Why um, do I want to use like a different mode here? Do I want to do this
Hmm.
or that, right? And so that
Hmm.
was the funnest part for me because I also teach theory too, so I could be just a tiny bit biased there, right? But
Yeah.
but yeah, so I would highly suggest people try to dive into the music theory portion just on when it comes to the songwriting part too, just because it will really help and it might give people that same kind of light switch moment that it gave me.
Hmm. I so personally, I'm working with like another artist. Shout out to Amin slash Patrick that I formerly known him as, and he was just saying the other day or a couple weeks ago we were like on a talk and he was saying he was taking like a music theory class and it helped perfect his like music and I heard his like music throughout like last year till now and it's been amazing and hearing that craft and he learned so much so I understand how music theory works. I also watch like music theory through like YouTube. I thought it was boring at first. Like I
Yeah.
I remember like I hated it in like choir and I was like, man, I'm gonna like sleep through. But no, it's actually very rewarding to learn it because then you're like learning all the notes and you're
Yeah.
learning which chords like sound better and you're learning like the technical side of things.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I really appreciate you like saying, because you're also giving advice. You're also giving advice to listeners, and you're also giving advice to like other artists to be like, be well known in your craft. Know every single aspect of it because it's going to help you out in the long run. And then when you're
Yeah.
actually, again, finishing throughout that whole process, it's, again, it feels rewarding. Like you're like, oh, I finally did it. I finally know what I'm doing. And then it makes the next track a little easier. And then the more you practice, it makes the other track, so on and so forth, a little easier. So that is pretty awesome, pretty cool. And then also like another thing, oh my God, like AI.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. It's nice to know that people are like, because I know with AI it's used as like a tool, but sometimes people run with it too much to use it on every single thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and for one, it feels like dehumanizing because it's not supposed to
Yep.
feel, you're not supposed to use it in that way. You're not supposed to like create like a whole imaginative like artist or anything like that. Like for, oh my God, for an example,
Mhm.
um
I
or
really
like,
quickly, I
yeah.
I think I saw a clip on TikTok of the CEO
Mm-hmm.
of Suno because
Mm-hmm.
Suno is currently I guess like the biggest app for AI stuff. I heard him
Mm-hmm.
say this quote that got a bunch of flack. That was something about how he wants to make music more accessible to the point where
Yeah.
it should be as easy as playing Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh
and so,
God.
but and like I just found it kind of crazy because it is like, and I think a famous YouTuber, Adam Neely, did a whole take on it too, where he had
Mm-hmm.
said, well, it is just crazy how I do think though it is good that it's really accessible now, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, kind of like how you were saying, where it doesn't become human now, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
think that it shouldn't even be as accessible as a game because I wouldn't consider music as a game, right? Or
Yeah.
I think that it kind of puts down all of those the work that the session players do to really hone in like their craft from the
Mm-hmm.
artists, the producers, the right, and plus I think that it takes some jobs too, and so I think it is just I do think if used properly and very sparsely, it can be a really crafty tool, but
Mm-hmm.
there I prefer just to kind of earn it more when it comes to the writing
Yes.
process of just having to take the time to learn and to really go into the books, right? Just really dive in there. Because I
Mm-hmm.
think people can just tell really quickly if it's fake or if you're being fully honest, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think as people, because bots can't feel, right? So it is just we us like as artists want people to feel from the music that we put out, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I think music is not just audio and sonically what it is, but just it's about like the feeling part. The sorry,
Mm-hmm.
it's about what we feel and the emotional part of it too, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's pretty much. And I know some people will probably take, oh well, he's only into the academic part of it from the theory and this and this and this,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I that was also something that took me quite a while to kind of learn how to subtly do, right? Because I don't want to do just a song that's trying to be smart or that's trying to sound cool by trying to
Mm-hmm.
use each and every trick that I can, right? I had to learn how to cater it to just, oh, okay, does it feel right first? Because that is going to be
Mm-hmm.
the most crucial part of it. Does it
Yeah.
sound right? Does it feel right? Does it make me feel anything? And if
It's
the
your
answer is
song.
yes, then it's good. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I was like, now another thing like popped up into my head because this relates. Um, I was like hard work. So the first one I was gonna compare to is that like, with AI, you can some people, and I've seen videos of it too, people just type words and then thing will be generated in like within hours, and then bam, another song. Or
Yeah.
they'll use like another artist, like their voice, and then make a track with their voice, which is like a concept, I guess, but also it's stealing their voice a bit, and it feels
Yeah.
off-putting. And sometimes artists who hear that are like, this is not right, or they're like, no, you can't use that. Um,
Mhm.
versus as like what I want to say is like that feels rewarding is that people who make like electronic music or like Vocaloids, I love Vocaloids.
Oh yeah,
So
same.
they
Yeah.
use like a program and they make the sound and everything, and they write the lyrics, and then they hire someone to make like the instrumental, and it becomes like a whole full team, full production,
Mhm.
and it sounds like it's out of this world and it could be AI, but it isn't. It's just they showed you their process.
Mhm. Yeah.
Another thing too that I fully recommend other people to watch that touch on this topic is Carol and Tuesday. That's on Netflix because it's literally about these two girls again named Carol and Tuesday, and they audition for this talent show, but they're the two people that are using like actual like instruments like guitar and piano, where in this world
Yeah.
it's just full of like AI, and they're kind of tricking to use their voice in a certain way.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
by the time you reach the end of like the second season, everybody's gathered in one big room to sing like this huge big song, and it feels warm and comforting that like all these people know that like something like this can't be made like super digital. It can't be super artificial. It brings
Yeah.
everybody together. And for one, again, people can recognize when things don't sound the way they're, I guess, like supposed to, or
Mhm.
when again it sounds like dehumanizing. People can clock that. People can figure
Yeah.
that
Oh
out.
yeah. Mhm.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
highly recommend people watching that show. It's fun. They have nice bops in there. Um and yeah.
This is nice.
Um
And what was that show called again?
it's called Carol and Tuesday on
Carol and
Netflix.
Tuesday.
They have
Nice.
they have two seasons. I believe they have like a couple like manga books. It's an anime show. It's set in like I love talking about it because it's set in the world of like Mars.
Oh
So
really?
Earth, so Earth is like kind of like dying a bit, and they're having like the Mars have their like own Grammys,
Oh.
their own festival, and it's like the year what like 52 or something starting in Mars or something.
Mhm.
So yeah, they it's a really good interesting show. I love it. Highly recommend people just like watching it.
Yeah. Awesome. Dang. Yeah, that one sounds really, really crazy, but cool, right? Nice. Awesome.
hmm So getting to the very tail end of here,
Mhm.
and going back to the topic of what you said like earlier, because I'm not gonna let that scrape by. You said you're releasing a second track. So since this is your again debut single, what's next after this release? Can fans expect more music as we heard, right?
Mhm.
So just give us
Yeah.
a little bit more tea.
Yeah, yeah, so I'm gonna be putting out this first track on March 27th, and then
Woo!
I filmed a music video that's gonna be dropped about 2 months after this one, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then I'm currently working on my second single. It's almost done being tracked. Um, that's probably going to be coming out in close to the fall time. So, yeah. So,
Ah.
and also, I think people can probably expect each one of my tracks to sound drastically different, because I do come from such a huge background, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
I think for the first one, it's going to be for all of the chicken picking country lovers and for
Mm.
the theory nerds, right? And I think for the second one, It's gonna aim more towards the classical music part of things, and but
Love
at a
it.
crazy fast pace, and I think people will really, really love it too. And I'm super pumped for the second one also because it is just I really wanted to push my limit as an artist there, and so that one
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think that's probably the best that I have ever played, and I can't wait for people to hear both of these tracks, right? Because I would
Yeah.
only want to put out what I'm fully proud of and what's fully honest to me, right? So, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
so far that's what I have coming up. People can also expect it. I'm trying to not let. Sorry, I'm trying to not let there be such a huge gap from song to song, but
Yeah.
because the songs are super technical, it probably will take me just a bit more time to kind of
Mm-hmm.
fully craft them. Because uh, I'm a OCD freak, so it will take
Mm-hmm.
some time to get it super perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but so far, the first song, Warp Theory, comes out March 27th. Music video will come out 2 months after that, and then my second single
Woo.
will drop this fall. So yeah.
That's all exciting. So many big things are happening for you. And I'm like proud. It's like, oh, everything is
Thank
amazing.
you, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, thank you for, accepting this interview and letting me ask you these loaded and fun questions.
Oh, no, no, yeah, thank you for doing this too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. So, is there anything you'd like to add or plug in or shout out to any people, you know?
Let me see. Let me see. I do have some really fun brand deals that are going to be coming out soon that I have been
Mm-hmm.
in the works with. I probably won't give out some of the names yet, but people
Yeah.
can probably stay tuned for some of the brands that I was able to thankfully partner with that
Mm-hmm.
also helped me with these tracks and the whole deal too there. But yeah, just follow me on all of my socials and just kind of stay tuned for any postings or any new songs coming out. And yeah,
Amazing. Again, you hear guys, follow him. What's your handle? So like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
I believe my Instagram is Michael XX Ryan.
Okay.
Facebook is just Michael Ryan. Same for Twitter and same for YouTube. Or you can go to any one of my socials, and I have my website there also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome,
Awesome.
awesome.
Well, thanks for joining. I hope you have an amazing time. Um, and I'll see y'all guys in the next interview that I do. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
No problem.